Imagine a blockchain worth hundreds of millions or even billions of dollars. It has impressive technology, fast transactions, and grand ambitions. But almost nobody is using it. In crypto, projects like this often get labeled a ghost chain. Today we're going to answer 3 questions. What exactly is a ghost chain? Which blockchains are commonly called ghost chains? And does Algorand deserve that label? Let's dive in. First, it's important to understand that ghost chain is not a technical term. You won't find it in a blockchain textbook or protocol specification. Instead, it's a nickname used by investors, developers, and crypto commentators. A blockchain is usually called a ghost chain when it has few active users, limited developer activity, low transaction volume, small DeFi ecosystems, few successful applications, weak community growth. Think of it this way. Building a blockchain is like building a city. A city can have beautiful roads, modern buildings, and advanced infrastructure. But if nobody lives there, opens businesses, or visits, it can feel like a ghost town. The same logic applies to blockchains. Technology alone isn't enough. Adoption matters. The first example is EOS. Back in 2017 and 2018, EOS was one of the biggest names in crypto. Its token sale raised billions of dollars and generated enormous hype. Supporters believed EOS would become a serious competitor to Ethereum. The technology promised fast transactions and low fees. But over time, critics argued that developer growth and user adoption never matched the project's early expectations. As newer ecosystems emerged and attracted more builders, EOS gradually lost relevance. Today, EOS is one of the most frequently cited examples whenever people discuss ghost chains. The second example is NEO. During the last crypto bull market, NEO was often called the Chinese Ethereum. Many investors expected it to dominate smart contracts in Asia. However, competition intensified. Ethereum continued growing, and newer platforms entered the market. While NEO continued development and upgrades, its ecosystem remained relatively small compared to major competitors. As a result, some analysts began describing it as a ghost chain. The third example is Tezos. Tezos introduced innovative ideas, especially around on-chain governance. The project has continued to evolve and still maintains a dedicated community. However, critics point out that user activity, DeFi participation, and ecosystem growth have often been much smaller than leading blockchains. That's why Tezos sometimes appears on lists of alleged ghost chains, although supporters strongly reject that characterization. Now, for the big question. Is Algorand a ghost chain? The answer depends on who you ask. Let's look at both sides. Why some people say yes. Algorand has a smaller ecosystem than Ethereum or Solana. DeFi activity is relatively modest. Developer numbers and user adoption have not reached the levels many supporters hoped for. The token's market performance has disappointed some investors. Why others say no? The network remains operational and actively developed. Transactions are fast and inexpensive. The technology is widely respected by engineers. Algorand continues to support applications, tokenization projects, and institutional initiatives. In other words, Algorand is not an abandoned blockchain. The debate is really about whether its adoption matches its technical potential. The term ghost chain is ultimately about perception. A blockchain can have excellent technology and still be criticized if users, developers, and capital fail to arrive. EOS, NEO, and Tezos are among the most commonly cited examples. Algorand sits somewhere in the middle. It's smaller than the leading blockchain ecosystems, but it still has active development, real-world projects, and a functioning community. So whether Algorand is a ghost chain isn't an objective fact. It's a judgment call based on how much weight you place on adoption versus technology. What do you think? Is Algorand underrated, or is it another ghost chain? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more crypto deep dives.